Hi, I'm Nozisi Tole. I'm a fourth year digital arts student. My role in my manga was to be the writer.
I am Austin. I am a fourth year digital arts student, and my role was illustration, character design, inking, all the good visual stuff. Did you know? And it is a collaborative effort between the two of us.
It follows two matric students who come from different social and economic backgrounds, and these two are basically having a rivalry. And throughout the story, they bond over trying to fix an issue that they caused when they made a wish over a Chappies wrapper.
It's definitely influenced by manga high school setting with a little bit of like an absurd fantasy. So the kind of shoujo leaning into shonen. We're in high school and we've done something weird and now we've got to solve a kind of genre of fiction. And also just influenced by like our lives as people and the things we lived through in high school and being a young person in South Africa in the year of 2023. Matthew comes from a house with a lot of expectations on him. His older brother succeeded in the school that he's now in. He was really academically inclined. Every teacher knows his name and accidentally refers to him by that name. But he himself struggles in school. He's not the best student. He doesn't focus super well. He just wants to kind of play soccer and hang out with his friends. But he has these expectations on him that means he kind of has to be performing in a situation where he's not.
The rivalry between them is Kanisile and Matthew were paired together to do a project in the year before. And then Matthew left her, up to her own devices and decided that, I'm not going to be a part of this. You can do it. And that caused her to get really bad marks. And if you're somebody who's academically inclined, that'll irritate you and obviously make you angry. And this being high school, people just hold grudges for very odd reasons.
It is a celebration and a kind of exploration of the struggles and also the highlights of high school in South Africa. It is very unique to that situation. South African high school is like no other. It is this complete melting pot. You get people who are there on scholarship. You get people who are there because daddy works in the bank and has tons of money. So you have every kind of person, every walks of life. Conflict arises from that, especially when you're a teenager and everything seems like the most important thing in your life.
Champions comes into play as more something that we wanted South Africans to be able to identify, and kind of a smart thing because as a South African, you know that Chappies has like facts that are written on there, and this kind of gives it a different play on it that you can make a wish upon it.
Very small characters isolated against this large environment to really bring home that they are kind of like, it's just them in this space. And then you also have the emotional spatiality of the characters where they feel quite distant from each other, literally shown by like the panel layouts. They are not seeing eye to eye, but towards the end, if you'll see that there are moments where they seem to cross over these spatialities and actually see each other.
They are very representative of typical SA matric students. This is the character, and Austin amazingly put it out exactly the way that I imagined it.
In high school, everything is heightened. All your emotions are heightened. Everything you experience is heightened. So in the story, there's like moments that are just absolutely ridiculous that these characters are going through, but it makes complete sense within the world. And I think it really sells the emotion of it. So I love the tone that we have managed to capture in it.
It was just really hard trying to like squish everything. I had this big grand thing. It's like, make it small. And that was like the nicest part and the most difficult part because it also made me realize that I do have a capability to write. I can write a script. That's so cool.
At the end, as we kind of came together and like worked on it, like I on the visual side and you passing me what you would like to see, we sorted it out together, really got through it, and we're like, here is what we're going to do. That was a really nice experience, I think. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Amber Aprosky. I'm a fourth year in the digital arts department. For our Afro Manga lens, I am the storyteller and the background inker.
Hello, my name is Akela Omoding. I am an honor student in the Wits digital arts department. I am the lead artist.
Lead for visuals?
Yes, lead for visuals.
Lens is a story about friendship between two friends, Ria and Tandi, as they go on a Josie tour bus around Soweto to gather photographs for their university project. Along the way, they do encounter some tensions in their friendship with environmental factors. A general lack of communication is what eventually splits them apart by the end of the manga.
The initial influence was early shoujo. Since it was somewhat grounded in reality, I thought, okay, let's lean into a more semi-realistic shoujo kind of style. Banana Fish, based in real location. The characters are Ria and Tandi. Semi-self-inserts of myself and Amber. At first we wanted them to be somewhat removed from ourselves because we were struggling to like find similarity. The more we worked on them, the more we got feedback, we started seeing the similarities there in each of us. They do complement each other. They both have strong opinions.
Hence the title, Lens. They have different perspectives. The way they see the world, the way they see each other, South Africa, the city, is a major part of their conflict.
When the parameters were set that it has to have some kind of realism to it, it was quite the challenge, but it was a fun challenge because I had to reconsider who am I writing for and what type of stories I'd want to put out there.
The themes as well when it comes to the story, not just the environment, that sense of identity, understanding your own perspective of your homeland. Despite how we may feel about our own identity as South Africans, we do have a perspective that is worth knowing and showing about.
Yeah.
I suppose it's for people like us.
It's for people that want to see something relatable. That's the word. Issues of interrelationships, fighting.
And fits into local is lekker because everyone has a different understanding of their locality.
The local is lekker was quite a challenge. I had this very stereotypical, prejudicial idea of what is local. It's about our experiences in Joburg. You can have two separate people that grew up in Joburg, but they have very different experiences. I want to see people like me and people in like the bracket doing aspirational things, everyday things. Sometimes you want to see drama, like, messy family drama.
We want different problems.
Yeah, we want different problems.
Inking the backgrounds has been a lot of fun when it comes to the actual process of it. It's been very different. I'm not very used to environmental design. It's been a really fun learning process. Lots of references have been needed, lots of geometric lines. I'm used to more free form sort of art. Another favorite part, it's been learning to be a team instead of just two people working individually.
Hi, I'm Kyle Abrahams. I'm a fourth year student at Wits. My role in the project is to be the writer and the letterer.
I'm Mo Lagan. I'm a fourth year student. I'm the artist on the project.
The name of our manga is Super Mega Afro Manga Puss Club.
So the story follows these two siblings, Alyssa and Cheslin. They are mech couriers. So in this post-apocalyptic Joburg, which is a nuclear waste site, they transport goods and whatever they get paid for. You need to do that in a mech because they are giant monsters and they have to fight them. This story follows them on a big job that could really increase their cash flow and get them to where they need to be secure, which is a problem most South Africans could probably relate to. A condition of that is they have to bring along this other guy, Junaid, who's basically goes with the package and is like the supervisor, but he's a very shady kind of asshole person. Things go horribly wrong and they have to adjust and they have to fight monsters.
Junaid is basically the douchey, vape-smoking car guy from Durban. He's pretty much the slimy businessman type, and he only cares about money. We've got the siblings, Alyssa and Cheslin. Alyssa is like the strong, protective older sister to Cheslin, and she's the mech pilot for roughly about 13, 14 years. Cheslin is her younger brother. He's very naive. He's very childish. He also hasn't necessarily been wedded to how harsh old Joburg has become. It's just following the three of their dynamic as they navigate this wasteland.
We nicknamed the mech Faisal because it seemed to fit. We kind of tied into what we had where the car that Faisal is made out of, the mech is made out of, came from Alyssa and Cheslin's father, who passed away when Joburg became a post-apocalyptic land. From there, a kind of personality came about in the mech itself that made it like a fourth member of their crew.
The biggest influences single-handedly has to be Akira, Megas XLR. More importantly, like the manga, we took a lot of focus in terms of the paneling and just a lot of the really good splash pages from there. Also the post-apocalyptic motif in that. We didn't want to copy Akira, but we also just wanted to play into certain themes that are discussed in Akira, such as political mismanagement, people being bad, the dangers of unmitigated power. This is set in Joburg, which is a place that a lot of us have grown up in. We're also looking at it in the lens of how it would look and how it would function after the result of gross government mismanagement in the form of nuclear waste just being thrown on the side, a bunch of monsters being allowed to roam the city, reducing what used to be this old historic landmark into nothing more than wasteland.
I think what we tried to do with the story was very much just, it's South African because it's made by South Africans, it's set in South Africa. We draw on car culture from our own individual backgrounds, and that exists in South Africa, in Joburg specifically. The way people talk is just how we talk. The way people interact is how we interact. The elements of government mismanagement is not at the forefront. It is a factor. It is background spice, but it's not the focus of the story. The focus of the story is South African guys in a situation.
It's always been something that I wanted to do. I personally made this for me, but I'd like to share it with everyone else so that they can also enjoy it.
My favorite part has been the dynamic of us two working together. The collaboration between us two, the conversations that we kept having, it was a lot of fun, and that was my favorite part, like just bouncing ideas off each other.
My favorite part was definitely learning about manga and learning about how we can intersect African themes and African narratology into manga, learning all the skills needed to be in this industry.
The style I've been playing with has been a very loose kind of taking from the emerging Afro Manga type of aesthetics like Juniba, going straight into inks from the scamps. For that, it's been interesting to see how much I've learned in creating shapes, building the shapes and carving them out with the ink brush.
The part that I hated the most was how much of the writing had to be cut down. We didn't want to make it too expensive because it's a very contained story. Having to kill my darlings, as Mo says,
because we were both like, we can do this, we can add this, we can make it more, because we do want to at some point expand on the world that we've built and do something else.